What's up everyone? Hello there! I am back and I'm back with something special for you all. I decided I want to do a small series about iconic cards in Magic. And for me, one of the most iconic cards in Magic is of course the Serra Angel. You remember me dedicating a video and having an interview with one. Didn't really turn out to go as planned, so I want to make up to the Serra Angel and dedicate a whole video to her. So in this video I will talk about not only the card, but also all the different designs throughout the history of the game. I'm also going to talk about the lore of the card, the story behind the Serra Angel. I even did an interview with the original artist, Douglas Schuler, and he told me some nice stories about the Serra Angel. He even explained where the name Serra comes from. So stick around at the end of the video, I will reveal this information to you guys. Serra is a planeswalker and a very popular character in Magic the Gathering. Although maybe not too popular because it took her quite a bit to get a card. The card is great, don't get me wrong, but if you have to wait 20 years to get your own card, maybe you're not that important, right? Okay, maybe you are important. Especially your angels are important. Let's talk a little bit more about Serra. Serra was so powerful, she got her own plane apparently. And she named the plane Serra's Realm. She might have been powerful, she's probably not that original. Now her nice plane, which was all light and shiny with angels and happiness, suddenly got attacked by the Phyrexians. Now Phyrexians, not really super nice creatures, like to corrupt things and stuff. So Serra said like, let's leave a few corrupted angels behind, let's take a plane and go to Dominaria. Now the plane was about to collapse, but luckily Urza came by and he stored the whole plane in a power stone. And this power stone also now serves as the engine and the fuel for the skyship, the Weatherlight. Now it's also to avoid rising fuel prices, but no one talks about it. Hannah says please don't talk about the rising fuel prices, so we're not going to do that, okay? Okay, back to Serra. She's now on Dominaria and there she finds love. Serra meets the wizard Pharos, they fall in love, they get married, and then Pharos dies in a tragical accident with a fire elemental. He didn't look at the card, fire elemental, before trying to experiment with it. I think this never could have worked out well. Pharos, tip you yourself, don't get involved with hot-tempered women. Stay away, stay away. Don't do it, don't do it. So Pharos dead, and even Serra, her healing magic couldn't save the poor bastard. Now Serra blames herself. Never blame yourself. But she did, not a good thing, and she was bearing the guilt, and all of a sudden she was attacked a few years later by a mysterious planeswalker, and this character, who we don't know who it was after a magical artifact, which was apparently the wedding ring that Serra was wearing. And Serra fought the planeswalker, but actually she gave up because she couldn't find love anymore, and Pharos was dead, and what is the point of living? So Serra died, and then this is the end of the story. I don't think Disney is going to buy the rights. Not really a happy ending. Now on Dominaria, Serra had a lot of things dedicated to her. She had a temple, also a beautiful church on the plane of Circe, and there the angels can still be seen flying around. Now to illustrate how important Serra was, I'm going to show you a few cards that were named after her. There is the Serra's Sanctum, there's a Serra's Aviary, a Serra's Cathedral, a Serra's Advocate, a Serra's Avenger, a Serra's Avatar, a Serra's Guardian, and many more. Even this isolated chapel mentions Serra in the flavor text. Okay, what's next? Serra's McDonald's menu? Now the card Serra Angel, let's have a look at it. It's a 4/4 with flying and vigilance for 5 mana. Is really well balanced, but it used to be a very strong card. Why? Because if you played competitive Magic in the time that Serra Angel was printed, you would be playing against decks which had a Royal Assassin, a black creature that could destroy tapped creatures. But the Serra Angel had vigilance, so attacking didn't cause it to tap, and that's why it could attack with flying and also defend with flying, which was very good back then. Now of course nowadays it's a bit underrated, but it's still a good uncommon in various sets. And if you ever open it in a draft or in a sealed pool, you will always be happy. So this is the first one I'm going to talk about, the latest art from Dominaria, and it's designed by Donato Giancola. The name must indicate that this artist is from Italian descent. I have here a foil version as well. Really cool one, a bit more modern with a city in the background. And so this is the most modern version of the Serra Angel. There we go. Now Dominaria had also a special version. It's this one. This one is from Scott M. Fisher, and it's only in Japanese. It's also in foil, as you can see, and it's only a Japanese promo version. So different art here, and it says convention at the bottom, so it's probably from an event that was during the Dominaria release in Japan. It's from 2018. Now let's head into probably the design you know the most of, and there are a lot of different versions from this card. I'm going to take one here. This is the version of Iconic Masters, and it's designed by Greg Staples. Beautiful art. Also, this is a foil version, but I'm going to try to see if I have a non-foil version here to look at the art a little bit better. See if I can get it sharp. There we go. So beautiful iconic art. Also, you see the full image of the angel with a huge sword, and here she's also wearing a full plated armor. In the previous version of Dominaria, she was not wearing the full plated armor. So we have versions of M15, we have versions of Iconic Masters, Eternal Masters. Interesting also that the flavor text is different. So a lot of them have follow in the light, in its absence follow her. But then there are some other versions. This one, for example, is a Magic 9th edition one, which has the explanation of the keywords flying and vigilance, but also a different flavor version on it. So when she flies above the good, they consider themselves blessed. When she flies above the wicked, they consider themselves dead. So this one is from 2005, I believe. This is a 2011 one, who also has a different flavor, but I only have it in, I believe this is Spanish. So this is a 2012 version, also with the flavor text, follow in the light, in her absence follow her. So
Then there are also some white bordered versions of this card from the 9th edition. And if we go to the 8th edition and the 7th edition, we find a different version of the Serra Angel. So we're gonna put these here. A lot of different Greg Stable versions. And let's look at the artist named Mark Zug. I only have one version of this one. Here it is. Same flavor text. 8th edition, it's a foil version as well, as you can see. And this one also in the 7th edition has the original borders. And this card is almost worth $200 US now. The 7th edition foils are really drying up. They're not a lot out there. But also this 8th edition foil, I only could find 20 pieces on Magic Cardmarket. So Mark Zug did this 8th edition and 7th edition version. Then there was also a comic book of a Serra Angel. And then we have this version of Rebecca Gay. It was also in a From the Vault series from all the angels. So this is also a very different take on the Serra Angel by Rebecca Gay. I personally like it a little bit less, but probably it's also from a time when I was not playing that much Magic. So, but I did want to mention it, this version of Rebecca Gay. And then of course there is the original Serra Angel, and most of you got this card looking like this. These are two revised copies of a Serra Angel, and I do want to go a little bit closer now on the art. There we go. Beautiful art by Douglas Schuler, and the revised cards were a bit washed out. We're going to look a little bit closer. I'm going to reposition the camera. So there we go, camera's repositioned. What I wanted to show you now is these revised versions of the card. They were a bit washed, because if you take an unlimited version of a Serra Angel, you will notice immediately that the colors were a bit more vivid. So this is an unlimited version of the Serra Angel. There was also a gold bordered signed version of the Serra Angel that was in a pack where you had like championship decks, I believe. I'll put it right here. And then there was one foil version of this art, and it's from back in the day in '99, and here it is. I'll show you a little bit closer. I really like this original foil version of a Serra Angel. See, it's only the border that's foiled, so the image is not foiled. So this is an original 99 foil black bordered Serra Angel. Now the first printing of Serra Angel, of course, is from the Alpha editions. These cards weren't tournament legal, but there is one version who was tournament legal with a black border with this art, and this is a beta version. And I do have one here. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Rudy is going to be jealous of this one. It's graded 9. Beta Serra Angel. So really proud on this piece in my Serra Angel collection. Beautiful art, very iconic, especially for me, because this was also a time that I started playing Magic back in 94, 95 I believe it was. So these were all the Serra Angels that I had to show you. Now let's continue with a little bit of a story.
Now, Douglas Schuler, the painter of the original Serra Angel, is doing once a year a repainting of the iconic art of the Serra Angel. And I'm pretty happy because I ordered my piece for in a few years. Now I had the chance to talk with Douglas about the original days of Magic, and he told me some cool stories. First, I've asked him, tell us a little bit on how this Serra Angel was created. How is this image created? Now he told me that in the early 90s, when Richard Garfield apparently assigned him for the art, there was no backstory, no lore. The purpose of the small startup that MTG was back then was to create a collectible card game with different rarities for different cards that allowed people to buy, trade, collect and build their own decks. No one thought it would become as huge as it is now, and no one could even predict the longevity of the game. Now the art assignments back then were just a few words, and Douglas had the Serra. It says, draw me an angel, let's put it on a card and let's make a design out of it. And that is what Douglas did. Now Douglas told me that Richard Garfield actually wanted to mention to the artist to draw a serrated angel. And that means an angel with some jagged metal. Little bit like later versions of the art. But in the notes, serrated wasn't written down completely. It was only written Serra. And actually this is where the name Serra comes from. So now when I think about Serra, I actually think about the sloppy writing of Richard Garfield. Now Douglas also told me he had a complete freedom to draw the angel however he liked. The only instructions that he had is that it would be a small image. Wouldn't be bigger as a postage stamp. So it had to be clear, had to show up from a good distance, had to have some contrast and some nice colors. That's why the background of the original Serra Angel is just plain blue. Now I also wondered that if what we see here is what we get. Is this the complete art of the Serra Angel, or is there more but was it just cut off to put in the card? But no, Douglas told me this was the original painting of the Serra Angel. Now of course later other artists made full body versions, but the original Serra is like you see it here. Now I also asked Douglas about the materials. Now back in the day, priority number one was deliver the art as quickly as possible. So he used whatever materials he had handy to make the art. He used oil paints and even some spray paint for the background. If you look closely, you can even identify it. The artist also told me that during the day he was working on a lot of projects and actually never thought that this would become such an iconic art piece. And he didn't really craft the art with that in mind as well. As you can see, there is not so much detail in the original Serra Angel. Now if you like to support magic artists, you can check out the link in the description below. You can go to the site of Douglas Schuler where you can order a signed playmat of the original Serra Angel, or if you're a European viewer, just go to my Cardmarket account. I'll put one up there as well. So now there's only one thing left to do. I have to call back Serra, tell her about this beautiful video I made, and hopefully then things will get back to normal.
This is Serra Angel 5013 speaking. You again? You have to stop calling me.